have thought the latest person to be cancelled would be Snow White. It's about time, if you ask me. Don't even get me started on those dwarves. But more specifically, Rachel Zegler, who plays Snow White in the new woke remake, has been in trouble for a series of statements about the movie in which she emphasised that this version will not be about Snow White looking for love. In fact, she went as far as calling the prince a stalker and suggested all his scenes could easily be cut. Imagine being the actor who plays that guy. Instead, she claims it's all about Snow White becoming the brave leader she knows she can be. But is that what we want from a Snow White film, and does it really reflect modern women? Well, let's ask social commentator and writer Lois McLatchie Miller, who joins me now. So, Lois, you wrote a brilliant article about the girl boss and the decline of the girl boss, and I believe it had a massive impact on some people that read it.
That's true. Well, women across social media have been giving a bit of backlash to these comments that Rachel Zegler made, because she sets out this archetype of what a successful woman should be, and she says it's a girl boss, it's someone who's independent and empowered and can do it all by herself, no man necessary, and girls don't need their Prince Charming. Well, I wrote an article in response to say that actually a lot of women want a Prince Charming. They don't want to be doing this all by themselves, and they actually want to be part of an empowered couple who is able to support each other in each other's masculine and feminine strengths.
Yeah.
One of my friends actually read this article and quit her job as a result of this, because she said that she realized that she was not getting fulfillment and support as a woman in this kind of very big, high-paid but high-intense corporate job. And she said that actually she would like to derive meaningful fulfillment from her life from investing in relationships and family.
Okay, that's an amazing result from an article. I write an article, people say, oh, that was good, Nick, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I might follow your Substack for free or something. People reading Lois, it's like, I'm quitting, I'm out. It's like a Jerry Maguire moment. Like, I don't want to be a go. Because basically what, she was sick of this idea of, like, corporate, like, the careers, everything. Is she now going to have a family, or do we not know?
Well, I think that's the intention. She says that her whole world was sucked up into this corporate job, and she was looking at other females in this career who are mothers, and they were getting a hard time in the workplace for, you know, leaving as late as 6 p.m., as early as 6 p.m., they thought. And there was just no space for her to thrive as, you know, the mother that she wanted to be, and to have those other fulfilling parts of her life. So this feminism that is championing the girl boss is really not working out for her or for many others. And
you point out in your piece, and you've said it in other places, that feminists used to be pro-marriage and pro-children, and actually they were even pro-Christian, which people have forgotten about. And now it's sort of seen as that's all bad. Well, you used to be able to be a feminist and sort of be a mother at the same time. Apparently that's gone, and that used to exist.
Right. Feminism has really taken a wrong turn. So the earliest feminists, they were seeking to build a society that fits around the needs of women. So that's ending kind of maternity discrimination and allowing women to be wives and mothers and still have fulfilling work, you know, with flexible hours or whatever they needed. Somewhere along the line, feminism turned into this kind of Carrie Bradshaw, Sex and the City type feminism, where it was all about living a hedonistic lifestyle, not having commitments, not being part of a committed relationship, but just being able to do whatever they wanted. And this brand of feminism is the one that's kind of followed us into the 21st century. But actually, it's made us a very lonely and isolated nation. If you look at our statistics, a lot of people who are living by themselves and not by choice, by circumstance. And they would like to have a family, but haven't been given the support to do so.
Because some people would say that feminism at its inception is wrong. I wouldn't dare say that on my first go on this show, but, you know, people might say it because it's a sort of left-wing ideology and it pits men against women from the start. You might say it was necessary to achieve things like the vote, but then again, men didn't used to have the vote before 1918. They had to go through the First World War for men under 30 who didn't own property to get it. So my contention might be, did we need feminism, or did we just need legislation? But anyway, probably a big topic. But you would say perhaps that feminism's just gone awry, and actually the government as well has not supported mothers with policies as well, right? Right.
Well, I think that any solution which pits sexes against each other is a flawed solution. So that goes for extreme feminism, which says that Prince Charming is needless and doesn't need a scene, and it goes for kind of the other extreme of patriarchy, which gives women, you know, no rights and no meaning and no equality. So what we need are solutions, you know, that represent the kind of marriage that successfully allow both sexes to flourish in their unique capacity. But yeah, the government, as you raised, it hasn't really done enough to support women in that capacity. They've been very GDP focused when they look at solutions. So they have, you know, looked at solutions to get mothers straight back into the workplace after they have a child and get her back earning money and outsource that childcare to another entity also making profit. Whereas I would love to see solutions which actually allow women to be credited and supported, maybe through tax systems, maybe through kind of just social credit, to be able to stay at home and be rewarded for that investment in the next generation. Because we know from the statistics that is the best thing you can be doing for the advancement of the future.
Okay, and just probably lastly on this, do you think there really is a backlash? Because there was a backlash online against this Rachel Zegler, but she also just might be a young, annoying person. If you look at some other things she'd done, she'd had a go at J.K. Rowling for being transphobic, and she'd tried to cancel loads of people. So she's just kind of woke and annoying and young, and maybe she'll learn. But you felt it was indicative of this larger sort of backlash against this kind of excessive feminism. Is that just wishful thinking from you, or do you think that's really going to happen?
No, I think it's part of a trend. We want our Prince Charming back. Sydney Sweeney, who was in Euphoria, a 25-year-old gorgeous model and actress, she said that she has all the success in her career in the world, but what she really wants is a family. And Talisa from NDub, she's come out and said recently that she wants committed partnerships now. And so many women who have been in an industry which promotes that girl boss feminism are actually saying, hang on, this isn't good for women, and we want partnerships, marriage, and support to be women in our own capacity back.
Yeah, well, I kind of hope it's turning, but I'm not 100% convinced. I mean, you're quite traditional, aren't you? You're Christian. You believe in the traditional marriage. You just got married as well, haven't you?
I did just get married. Thank you.
I thought people were going to clap then, but they actually didn't. My question as well, lastly, is do you think men can actually be won around there? Because men are now they've been watching Andrew Tate, and they've had enough of feminism, and they're watching red pill content on YouTube, and they've kind of had enough of this whole thing. And do you think you can win back men into sort of the traditional, arrangement and marriage? Because now lots of men are just thinking it's not worth it. We've got no fault divorce. We've got custody issues. They're not even bothering. How do you win them back?
Right. Well, like I said before, I think solutions which pit the sexes against each other and put one over and above the other are doomed to failure. So I think that a swing back that goes too far and diminishes women to just objects, or kind of has this very harsh generalizing attitude to all women, I think that's just as damaging as the extreme feminism, which is essentially the same to men. So I think the only solution which will allow both sexes to thrive is to have that complementarianism, to have solutions where men and women generally get along, and that masculine energy, that is, the Prince Charming energy, is not kind of dismissed, but equally the kind of strength that it takes a woman to birth a child and feed them and raise them, that's not dismissed as meaningless either, but both are equally valued.
Okay, well, that seems terribly reasonable, doesn't it? Lois McLatchie Miller, everyone.